Hello, my name is Cameron Stillman, and this is my third article review. My article was entitled Music and People with Tendencies to Depression from Music Perception. Just some background information to set up this article. The authors describe depression as often being associated with a reduced motivation to engage in behavior that will improve one's mood. People who are depressed may have a higher threshold for the activation of positive affect and experience positive effect in less intensity and for shorter durations than healthier people. Depressed individuals may also have a low activation threshold for negative effect and experience it more intensely and for longer periods. Another concept that they defined was rumination. Rumination is an involuntary focus on negative and pessimistic thoughts. Rumination is one of the primary behaviors associated with depression, and the presence of rumination is one of the strongest predictors of clinical depression. Rumination versus reflection. Rumination and reflection are not the same. They both involve focusing on thoughts that may be of a negative content, though. Reflection involves a healthy process of thinking through negative emotions and reaching some sort of resolution, while rumination involves perpetuating negative emotions without coming to a resolution. Again, they both focus on negative thoughts. Reflection eventually comes to some type of, it works through a process, a healthy process, and comes to some sort of conclusion. Rumination stews on that without coming to a resolution. The distinction between rumination and reflectiveness was proposed by Trapnell and Campbell as a resolution to the self-absorption paradox, which is the fact that a tendency to be absorbed in thoughts about one's own emotions and experiences is often found to be a healthy adaptive trait, but is also associated with neuroticism, depression, and poor self-esteem. The goals of this study were to test whether people with a propensity to depression are aware of the effect that listening to sad music has upon their mood, and whether they argue that such behaviors benefit them. Another goal was to examine whether absorption might exacerbate the effect of rumination, and that is self-absorption. A hypothesis, or three hypotheses, the researchers had. The first was that people with high scores in rumination will predict that listening to sad music will benefit them in some way. Second hypothesis was that people with high scores in rumination will not experience an improved mood after listening to music. And last, people with high scores in rumination will demonstrate an attraction to sad music despite the fact that listening to it does not result in an improved mood. The method the researchers used was they included 175 university students comprised of 72 males and 103 females ranging from 18 to 48 years old. These participants listened to a self-selected piece of music on YouTube that made them sad. Participants selected a song that made them sad, as well as a song that made them happy from YouTube. They were not allowed to listen to the music until told to do so. Post and pre-listening scores of depressed mood on the profile of mood states were taken, as well as measures of rumination and scores on the like sad music scale. Results partially support the first hypothesis in that some ruminators report an enjoyment of the emotions experienced or some benefit to mood from listening to the music, while others do not. Results support the second hypothesis in that people with high scores in rumination would not experience an improved mood after listening to sad music. And results support the third hypothesis in that the ruminators have a tendency to become absorbed in self-selected sad music, potentially drawing them into behavior that does not necessarily improve their mood. In conclusion, the study has implications for contemporary clinical practice in that it suggests that mental health professionals, including music therapists, should be educating patients about musical engagement as both a positive and potentially negative coping strategy. Assumption is that, or an assumption that has occurred is that music in general improves mood, regardless of the connotations. And that is not necessarily the case. And this study helped support that idea and hopefully will support further research in the effects of music and mood regulating. Thank you.